Fingers in Pies podcast brought to you by Melon Freight UK.
Welcome to the Fingers in Pies podcast, episode 8, I've been told. Come on, we're getting through them.
We're getting there.
Episode 108, before you know it.
Yep.
With Melon Freight UK, if we can't move it, it can't be moved. That is the slogan. It's not a 50 Cent song. It does sound like a 50 Cent song.
It does when you say it.
We can't
Just 'cause you're
move it, it can't be moved. Right, okay, let's stop messing about.
That's going to be cut, so that's going to be in the trailer.
I don't know why I do it, because they make me look like an idiot all the time.
20 seconds in and you've done that.
Right, okay, I'm obviously feeling it. I promise you I haven't had a drink, not yet. Right, we are obviously here with Mr. Melon Freight UK. Tommy, how are we doing?
All good, mate.
Good stuff. And special guest for today's episode 8, and it's your lucky number.
It is,
Hamzah Butt. How are we doing?
Good, thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah, really
Should
good.
explain, Hamzah, how this has come about, because usually I'm asking Tommy to explain how this has come about, but Hamzah, you're a boxer.
Yeah,
You've chosen to get hit in the head for a living.
I have, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
And go with explain.
That's the best intro ever. That's the best intro ever.
So explain how we're here at We Finance Any Car. It started with you walking into our office, or maybe even calling John Healy, or who owns We Finance Any Car. That's where we are. We're at the We Finance Any Car offices, by the way.
I looked at who sponsored Southend United.
Right.
Essentially, spoke to Reece down at Southend United, and I just tried my luck basically.
Yeah.
I rung up the office. This is how mad this. I rung up the office and just went, "Hi, I'm Hamzah. Blah blah blah. Like, I'm looking for sponsors for my fight coming up. Who do I need to speak to?" And didn't get through to anyone.
Right.
And then I rung back again, and I tried a different approach. I was like, "Who do I need to speak to?"
Otherwise, I'm going to punch you in the face.
No. I was like, who makes the decisions on stuff? And then they were like, "Oh, it's John." And I was like, "He's busy at the moment," or whatever. And I was like, "All right, cool, whatever." But I was just so persistent, and I called back again, like a few hours later, and I was like, "Is he free?" Or whatever. I was like, "Oh, we don't know when he might be free." And I was like, "Well, I'm only around the corner. What I'll do is I'll pop in." And I think, no one ever wants you to pop in when you say you're a boxer.
No.
Everyone's like, "Oh, fuck that." And I'm on
Yeah, I mean, you've done it now, mate.
Everyone does that. Everyone actually swears, goes, "Am I right, sir?"
Yeah, you're all good.
And then, like, I don't know, like 15 minutes later, I get a call from John.
No.
And he's like, "Oh, well, I heard you wanted to speak to me. You've been bringing everyone up." And I was like, yeah, told him. I had like the best conversation.
Yeah.
I was on the phone to him for like 20 minutes almost.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, just come down tomorrow and I'll have a chat with you." And I went down and spoke to him, and here I am.
And there you are. So we should explain a little bit about this. So We Finance Any Car, we're in their offices now, Essex-based, obviously finance broker, and you've just contacted them and tried to get some sponsorship for your next fight.
Yeah.
And well, you obviously sweet talked him because he's obviously said yes.
No. Do you know what? I didn't even sweet talk him. I just came down, told him a little bit about me, what I've done before, where I am, where I'm going to be fighting, and that. And he was like, "Mate, yeah, that sounds like a bit of me."
Yeah.
And we had loads in common. It was mad. Like, it was just like one of the best conversations I've ever had.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like I was talking to like one of my mates that I'd known for ages. It was so weird. Like,
It's amazing when stuff
it was
like
great.
that sort of happens. So explain a little bit about where you are in your career, because you're right at the start. Right?
Yeah. I'm right at the beginning of my career.
You've had how many fights?
2 fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-0.
You won them both?
Won them both, yeah.
Gosh,
Won them both.
I lost them both, but I'm looking to build. Won them both.
Yeah, I've won them both.
And you've got a big fight coming up,
I've got
right?
a big fight coming up, July 6th at the O2. Yeah.
Go on, you can plug it as much as you want, mate.
Plug it. Look on the old Insta.
July 6th at the O2. There's some talks about it being streamed on the Zone. Actually,
Really?
There's a pecking order at the minute, obviously, with
Right.
Eddie, and as long as Eddie ain't got a show on that weekend,
Okay.
I think we're all good.
Wow.
But it's going to be on TalkSport. We had BBC Sport come down to the press conference. Like, it's going to be on Ladbrokes. You know what I mean? Like,
You're going to be on Ladbrokes. I can put a bet on you.
you put a bet on. You know what I mean? Make sure your man goes down to
Or-
fourth.
Thanks for the tip, Britop. Just going to quote Snatch the whole way. That is really, really, like, I don't think I've heard that story actually, that you've come in. I remember coming in to see you.
Yeah.
Strolled in, John just like, can we have a word? Because obviously we do the content for We Finance Any Cast. He was like, can we have a word quick?
Yeah, I think I was there.
Yeah, you were like, Hamzah's here. And I was like, yeah, you're right.
Who's
this? And he was like, right, so I'm going to go sponsor him on his next fight, I think. And I was like, okay, what are we doing then? He's like, we'll get some content done. And then before you know it, the team literally know you so well now. You're popping in the offices.
I pop in and out.
Stuff done.
Get on the phones.
Yeah. 100%. Whenever they're short, whenever they've got sick, someone's off sick. It's weird how this whole thing comes about. I don't want to get too serious too quickly because I want to pick your brains about boxing because I love the boxing, etc. But someone that's in, we were just talking about sponsorship while in the thing there. Hamzah just called up and then popped in on someone, obviously on a local sort of level. You do some stuff on a more national level, but nothing really changes. You literally, people are picking up the phone, putting something in front of you, and if you like it and like the person or like the people, you'll do it, right?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's got to be a right fit, obviously. And like you say, you've got to have that relationship. As you said, it kicked off and everything was great. We've had a few where people just sort of knock on the door of the office. And
Really?
I've had a few young go-karting.
You're joking? Of course. Once you're involved in motorsport.
Once you're involved in motorsport, that's what they look at, and they realise they're local, and they're just like, oh, and full credit. Like, you know, if I could, I'd do them all because that's the way to do it, right? It is. Cold calling isn't easy. Like,
no.
Even the salesman in the office, like, it's not an easy gig, like, to go and try and you're not even selling. You're selling yourself, right? Like, because everyone's doing the same thing in the motorsport side. You're just you get promoted from different aspects, different things available. But and we obviously do football. There's Southampton and Tom Ingram and Ronan. So it's always good and exciting, and always looking to do different things. I'm sure we'll have a chat at some point. And you know, it's trying to get the name out there, create a brand rather than a business. And I was like I said, I've just come back from a conference actually in Thailand. And I had about 20 agents come up to me and just say, your socials are really cool. Like, you know, your branding's really cool. How you're putting it out there and doing stuff differently. And this, for example, as well. It is just doing something a bit different. Offering something a bit different. And, you know, that's how you sort of build that brand up. And your brand is yourself, right?
It's weird, isn't it? So you have to, you're not...
That is the weird thing. So we spoke to Tom Ingram, who's a British touring car driver. You know, Meron sponsored Tom. He's had a cracking start to the thing, but it is an individual, right? And motorsport's not an individual sport; it's very much a team sport. But you know, you are backing a driver. You're obviously backing a team. You're backing a package, but you are essentially you want to be at the front of the grid if you're on a sponsor for the most part. You know, sponsors are going to want to know what you're doing, where's your sort of plan going forward. They want to know what your record's like, who you're training with, you know, all that pedigree. That it's kind of hard when you just got, like you say, you're not really a salesperson, but you almost got to sell yourself. You've got to be like, it's really weird. Like you sort of have to be a salesman. Like you have to be, I don't know, you've got to look at it like from a business point of view, I think. Like boxing's still a business at the end of the day. It's just a very violent business. It's a weird business.
It's just a weird business. It's just my business is violence, but I'm still like a businessman. I still have to like, you know, think about what I want to do, how I'm going to get there. You know, you've got to have a strategy. You've got to have a plan. I do have a team as well. Like, you know, you've got to work with the right people. You've got to make good connections. You know, it's exactly like a business. And that's how you've got to treat it if you want to succeed. So let's take the business part out of it for a second. Then, when did you start boxing? I started boxing when I was like 13, 14 years old. How old are you now? I'm 26 now. Okay. 13, 14, what was it? Someone steal your lunch money or something? No. Do you know what? Year 10. Do you know what? Someone stole my bike. No. That was a Muhammad Ali thing. Someone stole his bike. And then he was like, right, I want to go beat him up next time they steal my bike. And he went to a boxing gym. Fact, I think. Go on, tell us why'd you get into it? Oh mate, I wish my story was like, I got bullied and like, you know, I was just a rough kid growing up. I had to go on a straight and narrow, whatever, blah blah blah. Like, it's just, I wish that was my story. It's not that at all. You just fancy? No, so my mum was born in Pakistan. She was born in like a little village called Azad Kashmir.
Right.
And my dad was born in Tanzania in like a little town called Tunga, right?
Yeah.
They both come over here when they were like teenagers. Didn't speak like a word of English and that. Got bullied well bad at school. Like you can imagine, like both like just like I don't know how to say this politically correct. Like just
racially abused.
Yeah, like racially abused.
Yeah.
Like my mum, bless her, like love her to bits, but she like typical Asian girl, like bit airy and that, smelt like curry. So they used to get it bad. Do you know what I mean? They used to get it bad. My mum was cooking today. I was worried that I'm gonna smell today.
Mate,
so I splashed over.
You go into a Pakistani household 100%. My dad was the same. I was like, Dad, can you make some burgers and chips? Because otherwise people are gonna judge. But go on.
So like they was over here as like teenagers and that, and where they come from, like they don't have a lot of opportunity, so like they focus so much on education. I think a lot of like Asian families are like that, loads of African families are like that. Like they were like, education is like the most important thing ever, and like whatever little money they had, they spent on like tutors for me. So like I was like a nerd basically. Like I was always at like I had like well good grades. Like, I got A star in English, fucking B in maths. Like I got well good grades in that. But never went on holiday. Like ever, it was just a luxury like we just couldn't afford.
Right.
And I had a mate. His name was he's not really my mate, but his name's Charlie. Charlie, if you're watching this, thank you, but whatever. But I don't know where I was going with that.
Go on, Charlie.
Charlie, he used to box at Lifton's Southern ABC.
Right.
And he went to New York. I remember being on Twitter, right? I remember seeing he went to New York, and I was thinking, how did he do that? And I messaged him. I went, how did you go to New York, by the way? Like, did you go like with boxing? Like, did they fund it or whatever? Blah blah. He was like, yeah. Like, if you're good enough, like, because boxing is like it's funded over here. Yeah. Like, if you have like an affiliated club, like it's funded by like national lottery and stuff like that. But you've got to be good enough. To get that. And I was like, Dad, would you like take me down the boxing gym? And he was like, why? And I was like, I just, like...
Because Charlie's in New York.
I want to go on holiday.
Go to New York.
I was like, Dad, I want to go on holiday, but I didn't say that. I just said that I was like, Dad, will you take me down the gym? Like, I was nerdy and a bit chubby, whatever. I was like, I just want to get in shape and all that. Mum didn't want me to go. My dad took me on the sly. In the end. I was rubbish as well. Rubbish, weren't fit, couldn't punch, none of that stuff. But I just stuck at it. I remember Mickey, his name was. He weighed me and told me I needed to lose weight. I can't remember how much I had to lose, but I like almost starved myself and ran every single day on the trot to make the weight. And then we started training properly. And
wow,
fucking hell, look at me now.
Wow.
It's just like it's all that's
it's
mad.
Weird. I know you're gonna go fight the O2.
Yeah, but I just wanted to box so I can go on holiday.
So how can I go on holiday? I'll get punched. And punch better.
Or no, I'll go starve myself, train every single day, learn how to punch.
Empire State just in the
Amazing.
It's crazy. But
you've been to New York yet?
I was at Gleason's gym. I was sparring. Recently, I've just been. And it's funny that because it's funny because I was thinking that I was just like, I'm in New York, and I was like, I always wanted to do this for boxing, and I was out there for boxing. I was out there sparring.
And then there'll be that is a cool story.
It's different. It's different. It's still a good story.
Everyone's got Everyone's got their own story. You can't pretend to be something you're not. You know what I mean? You can't all of a sudden be like, I had it rough as well, and I had this, that, and the other. It's like, well, no, Well, hold on, we were just talking about Chris Eubank Jr. A lot of people, unfortunately, tag him with the silver spoon. Oh, you had the silver spoon route because his dad was obviously a millionaire boxer. And he didn't have it rough growing up as a kid, but he certainly has had his challenges. He's forever compared to his dad. You know what I mean? So everyone has their own journey, but that's quite a cool one. So Charlie, thank you very much wherever you are. You put a picture up in New York, and now Hamzah's going into boxing as a result of it. But let's talk a little bit about this mental game of boxing. Are you into boxing, Tommy?
Yes and no.
No? Do you watch the big fights?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Did you watch AJ Ngannou?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think?
See, I used to be a big AJ fan.
Yeah. I still am.
And I am. I just think you go a different way about things sometimes.
Yeah.
And it just,
I think
there's being business minded, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I think he just needs to relax and be him a little bit more.
Because I think that's how
more relatable.
I think that's how everyone liked him.
The whole like stay humble and
because he isn't. His story is amazing, obviously, and how he's been like, since blowing up and everything. But at the same time, as I look at him and go, I don't feel you're being 100% yourself.
Like authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
I feel he's always stayed consistent with that humble hard work.
Agreed.
I think he lost his. I think there was a lot of criticism handing his way, like unfairly, like literally, like you lose a fight and everyone's like, I told you he was just a punk. Tyson Fury massively responsible for a lot of it when everyone called him. He started calling him a pumped up bodybuilder and stuff like that, and no respect. Of course, he's going to do that. Look, everyone like you always get them boxers that sort of out other boxers. But then, like I say, I think the bits for me with AJ is where you see that when he knocked out Hellenius, for example, and he gets out the ring, you always find him a little bit. And when he had that outburst at the Usyk, it's natural sort of emotion.
Bad. It was. I was just thinking, someone needs to take that microphone off.
I know. I think
everyone was looking at it.
I was thinking, why is no one from his team grabbing that microphone?
I think Fraser Clark said
that was hard to watch.
But everything's been so. I think the reason media then cut him so hard on that was that everything seemed perfect from what he was doing. The story was perfect, the trajectory was perfect. You know, he's got everything that you could want. And jealousy is a huge part. Media they're just waiting to be able to jump on him. And the minute he had that loss, it's just like, right, kill him. And they did, and they went hard. And unfairly as well, I think. Like, everyone's going to get a knockback. You're not going to be perfect all the way through. But at the same time, what happened when he, like you said, when he had the mic in his hand and you're just going, stop.
It was almost a culmination, wasn't it? All the build-up of pressure is like something just released. And
that's what I mean, right? If you're yourself, authentically, you could turn around and say you're 100% yourself, you probably wouldn't have that outburst. No. He's probably wanted to actually let you loose a little bit more.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
He's wanted just, in certain paces, just show you're vulnerable, show you, do you know what I mean? And I think that everything, just up to that point, it just went bang. And like you said, we all watched it and went, oh no.
Yeah. He became a sound on TikTok quite quickly, didn't he? That sound when he was like, so. But I mean, that's
I'm heavy. That bit.
I'm heavy.
I'm heavy.
Everyone was doing it like it was.
But I'm a big fan of his.
I'm a massive fan.
Huge. I'm a huge boxing fan, and so that's why I'm so invested in seeing your journey. So we're going to talk a little bit about, because I saw Hamzah last week, not as cheery and as you are now, of course. And I've recently spoken to you, who are a very, very positive person, don't mind me saying, absolutely tested. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you came in and told me and John last week? So you had a fight.
I had I don't want to. Do you know what? I don't want to dwell on it too much, to be fair, because it was just like.
So two days before your fight.
2 days before my fight got cancelled essentially.
So that is boxing, right?
It's just. Do you know what? It's just boxing. It's like. Yeah, it's just part of the business. It's part of the game. It's just something you have to bounce back from. And the reason I don't want to dwell on it too much is because there's just no point like thinking about it. And I don't want to get in that mindset because I'm in like a new mindset of like training for this fight. So it didn't happen. I don't know. I spoke to my coach and he was just like, "Ams, it's just like a game getting rained off." Yeah, so exactly. He's like, "What are you gonna do? You're gonna go home and cry?" He's like, "You're gonna go home and cry, or are you just gonna just firm it?" You know. He was like, "Look on the bright side. You can go have a burger now. Go have a burger, relax, and then obviously
reset."
I knew I had an announcement on Sunday anyway. Obviously, no one else knew that was going to happen. But I was just like, you know what? I've got an announcement coming in a couple of days. Just enjoy yourself, enjoy a little bit of downtime, and then make that announcement. And before you know it, you'll feel better in no time." And
was that always the plan to have the two fights?
The plan was obviously to have the fight and then, you know, get the win and use that momentum and then be like, because the fight would have been on the Saturday the 27th and then the announcement was on the Sunday the 28th.
Right.
So then it would have been like a win the fight, nice big win, nice big high, and then bang, there's another announcement of fight at the O2. Bosh, like it would have been wicked. Of
That's
course
ideal.
Of course it would, but it's like didn't have that, but I still I don't know. I still got dessert.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. from the outside looking in, you're more involved in boxing, but the outside as a fan looking in, this happens all the time on massive scales.
Sucks. Yeah, like I had to like doing refunds sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and you know, my mates were obviously really excited to come down. Luckily, no one had to book a hotel or book travel or anything like that, which I'm glad about. I would have felt awful about that.
It is all the stuff you don't see.
Yeah,
it is all that side of it, right?
Yeah. Because it's not match getting rained.
I'm waffling. I'm waffling.
This is all about.
Waffle into a microphone.
That is what it's all about.
But like you were saying, it's a match getting rained off. A match getting rained off. Like my kids, we all go about our day. But like I say, you've got to take care of that stuff. You've got to then bring yourself out of it. But the positivity, that mindset, has got to be. It's going to be tested throughout your career. If you want to be a boxer, that mindset's going to be tested. If we fast forward and touch wood, we're hopefully 11, 12, 13 and 0 or whatever.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'll be amazing. You're going to be proper tested with the ups and downs of the sport.
10 and 0, it's going to be like that. Journey to 10 and 0 is going to be manic. Like,
of course.
I just got to firm it.
Yeah,
and it's what people only see as well, like when they're watching, is they don't see everything
Stuff
in the background and what you're going through in personal life or in the gym or whatever, or little niggles here and there that must happen on a daily basis.
They just see like I call it like highlight reel on your social media.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? They see all the really good stuff. They don't see like the
New York.
Yeah, they see he's loving it. Do you know what I mean? They don't see all the I don't know, they all sort of rubbish stuff like
hard work.
Do you know what I mean? No one's posting that time they shat themselves, like, after a night out or something. Like, no one posts that. Sorry, like, no one's.
I love the analogy.
No one's posting like the rubbish stuff. Like, everyone should post like the really, really good stuff. Like, look at me, sort of thing.
I get it. And that's the thing. But even, and that's the thing. When there's been disappointments, there was a massive disappointment recently with the Riyadh season where Wilder and Joshua were meant to be announced after, and then Joseph Parker went and beat Wilder, and you could just literally see like Eddie Hearn's face, like I was meant to announce Wilder Joshua after this fight, and it literally plans completely changed. Don't get me wrong. Doesn't matter when you're talking about that sort of money. I'm sure the money's okay to sort of cushion the blow. I'm sure they'll be right. But it's plans, isn't it? It's just like, right, we've got this plan, we've got this plan. How the hell can you make a plan in sport? And I'm coming on to, so Tommy, you might not know Hamzah. So Tommy, other than being a supporter of race cars going around in terms of sponsorship, decided to do a ludicrous thing and become a racing driver as well. So
I don't know.
Racing around in a mini challenge. You had to deal with something that I'm guessing you knew might happen throughout the season, but to happen on the first round.
Yeah, I mean, it was at Snetterton, what was it, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
It was 3 weeks ago.
First race weekend, coming into it, really excited, obviously. And then did test on the Thursday, Friday. Everything was looking good, feeling positive. Went into the weekend, qualified on the Saturday morning, which was all right. I think I just got a bit too tight in the car. Didn't get the lap time I wanted, but was what it was. Anyway, excited to go into race 1 in the afternoon. And then I've got a knee issue that reared its head, should we say, about 2 hours before the race. Offered an ambulance to the hospital, sorted me out. And then I came back the next day. Basically, I got a bit of nerve damage. Goes in a spasm in my leg.
From racing?
No, from multiple surgery. I've had 18 knee ops on that knee, on my right knee. Multiple others.
18 knee ops.
What did you do? You used to play football?
So I was 18 knee ops on that knee, 7 on that one, and then 7 on my shoulders. I was 21 stone at 13. Lost a lot of weight really fast. And my body just didn't know what to do. Kind of shat itself. So I had to get everything sort of tightened up and different things. But during one of the surgeries, there was a little bit of nerve damage, and it's caused this issue that my leg goes into spasm. They reset it, sort of thing, at hospital. Everything's fine, and apart from feeling sore, I'm good to go. Turn up on the Sunday morning for race 2, race 3. I don't know how much I can really go into it, but talking to chief medical officer and everything like that, they want to get me signed off properly. So I've got to wait for that to come through. So I wasn't allowed to race on the Sunday.
Oh man, that's gutting, isn't it?
And so I qualified, haven't raced yet. So I'm waiting to get that signed off. Which hopefully will be done before Pembury in a week and a half. But I don't know.
But that's what I was saying. There's similarities in terms of.
Hopefully that gets done. But
That's it, and it's like up in the air part, right? Like it's not knowing.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, like you say, with the people coming down, and you got people supporting you. I got sponsors, everything like that, and I'll make sure whatever the situation is, you make sure that they get what they wanted out of it.
Yeah,
100%.
And when it don't go that way, it's like you feel awful, right? I was so nervous coming down here to tell. John took it so well. But he was like,
it's out of your control, right?
He almost just brushed it off as if like, what's the problem, sort of thing. But I was like, oh man, I was shitting it.
Yeah.
I was like, I've now got to go and drive to WeFinance and tell them that I'm now not fighting and I'm crap myself now. Yeah. And it was fine. Like they took it all really well, and everyone that supports you take it really well. And I think that helps a lot, right?
Yeah, that's it. And I think you surround yourself by good people. Whether you, like you say, your team in the gym, whether that's your family, whether that's whatever, it's surrounding yourself with good people and understanding the situation you're in, right?
Yeah.
Everything I'm going to do is for the investment that people have made into me and racing. So whatever happens, that's going to be the goal moving forward. But yeah, to say I'm coming out of a dip is an understatement. I'm trying to just get your head right, something like that. I turned up on I don't know if Jim was there on the Sunday actually.
You were there on the Sunday,
No, so on the Sunday, and I turned up when they said that I couldn't race, and I was like, right, I just needed, like, my wife and kids were there, a few other family members were there and stuff, and I was like, I just need to like have 20 minutes to myself. So I said to Nate, my engineer, I was like, I'm just going to sit in the car. He was like, yeah, no, that's fine. I sat in the car, and literally I was just like, I just got really emotional really fast, and it just hit me. I was like, that's how much it actually means to me. Didn't even realise it did that much. Sat in the car, Nate was at the door and he went, do you want a minute? I was like, yeah, just shut the door and just walked off. He put the blind down. And then at that point, typically, it was like a perfect timing of a movie scene. I'm sitting in the car, like, not getting emotional, but I was feeling emotional. And my teammates are getting in their car to go off for race 2. I was like, oh, so just watching them drive off as I'm just sitting there in the car. It was just like, yeah, you couldn't write that. I didn't even think at the time, but yeah, it shows you how much you want something, and you get knocked back. I think, and sometimes you need the knockbacks and different things. And I've had a few with my football career in it because of it. And everything I've got given up because of my body. But driving's one thing I know I'm good for. But again, another conversation I've got to have with the medical side. But yeah, it's tough. It is tough. So yeah, there was Donington last weekend with the touring cars, and obviously there was a lot of rain, so I didn't actually. It was a long drive for me. It would have been 8.5 hour drive for one day.
If you're going to miss one,
I was looking at it going, do I leave at 6 a.m. to get up there and stand there? And I was like, you know what? Nah, it's too. Tilly wouldn't. My daughter loves it as well. But I said to her, I was like, 8.5 hours driving in one day. Do you fancy it? She was like,
how old is she?
11.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
She was like, no. I was like, you can sleep, it's fine. She's like, no, I really don't want to. It's just too far. So yeah, it was. I'm looking forward to getting back in the car. I'll do my testing. I'll carry on doing all that. I went go-karting the other. I went go-karting. Sorry, just quickly.
No, mate. Why are you podcast? This is your podcast.
It's about you. So he's going to hate me for mentioning it, but we did. Someone that I've employed, Jordan, who works, does hospitality and stuff within
touring cars
with Accelerate. And so he's come down. Tilly, my daughter, does go-karting. In between sessions, we were like, oh, should we go out and have, So all the office were like, oh yeah, just let us know when you speak, Tommy, and all this, because he is quick. Like he did the mini scholarship, he was quick. He was like the 4th quickest time or something. We've gone out there. On the first session, he was a 10th quicker than me. And then he didn't improve in the second session, but I went a 10th quicker than him and beat him. And I said, mate, I'm going to post this everywhere.
You did?
And I did. And I was sitting there, who else can I copy into this? I was like,
copied Tom Ingram. You copied everyone.
I nearly copied the mini challenge in as well. I was nearly like, right, everyone. But yeah, it was just quite
Jordan, if you're listening and watching, you got beat. Yeah. He's going to make an excuse next time, you know that. He fancies himself as a racing driver. Sorry, Jordan. Won't run you off too much. I mean, like I say, the knockbacks. I mean, I've never been, anywhere near involved as sport, racing driving, boxing. But I could see the disappointment in your face, and then obviously I briefly spoke to you on text, and I could just see some bits coming through on the socials and stuff like that. I mean, luckily, you know, you've also got, you know, the racing driver portion of you's there, also running a business, you know, and you've got your family around you, stuff like that. So you've got another focus that, like you say, you got to get out of bed for. Like we've said it before in these podcasts. It's like, what are you going to do? Like you said, your coach probably said it to you best. It's like, what are you going to do? Are you gonna mope, or are you going to sit there, or are you going to find your motivation and get up and go again? Yeah. Obviously, that day's probably not going to be as good as some other days, but you got to pick yourself up and go.
Definitely. I mean, as I always say, like, there's no what's the point of stressing about stuff you can't control?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, focus on stuff that you can.
Yeah, both of these things.
I've got a load of lists that, you know, a long list of stuff that I need to sort or whatever. But it's like, prioritise the stuff you can actually sort first of all. Kick the rest to the side. If you can't change it, what is the point of? You're gonna stress, you're gonna worry, you're gonna this. If you can't change it, just make the best of it. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of that. But yeah, I have Mayor on to then go, right, okay, focus on. Get my head on it for work and business and maximise that. Obviously, I had a trip that I left about 3 days after that weekend to go to Thailand for a conference. I had 6 days there, which was quite a nice distraction, but it put me straight back in work mind, which was good because I'm just waiting for these whatever assessments that need to be done. So I'm in that limbo stage. So getting away and getting back in it was good. It must be tough. Your sole focus must just be like, right, what's the next step on this path, right?
Essentially. When stuff like that happens, you just got to think of it as like, right, there's always going to be setbacks, right? I don't know, you just got I try and find the positive in it, but no matter how bad it gets, I just get on with it anyway. Like, I always just say fuck it and just roll with it. Like, it's so cringe, but just roll with the punches, because what else are you going to do? Like, so yeah, when that happened, I just like, what did I do? What exactly did I do? I think the first thing I went to do was I went to Basildon and I went to Five Guys. I ate a burger. And just
decent burgers, to be
decent fair. Burgers as well. Do you know what I mean?
Guys.
Like, Five Guys.
You get Five Guys on your shorts, mate.
I should go to weigh-in and like.
Do you know the worst part is actually when you have a setback like that, you go and get some food or something, and it's bad. I mean, that's worse than the actual knockback.
I've done this as well.
Yeah, I've done lose a load of weight and have a photo shoot. I've done 2 of them. And you go out for a meal after and you're looking forward to that meal so much.
Yeah.
And then you go for it and it's awful. And you're like, I've ruined this. I've ruined this.
You can't go wrong with Five Guys, mate.
You can't go wrong with Five Guys.
Five Guys, chips, mayo, ketchup. I'd smash that and I was like, you know what, that was great.
Would that be your go-to meal? Or if you're
breaking, like, you're coming out of camp, you just won the fight, you're like, let's get a Five Guys.
Do you know what, I don't know. I just really, that's just what I fancied at the time. I try not to
don't have a go-to.
Yeah, so I don't do that. I don't build it up. I give it to, otherwise you give it too much power.
It's like a night out when you organise with the lads, you start building it up.
It's Derek Chisora, isn't it, that goes around with burgers after his fight, isn't it? He's like, just starts handing out Five Guys.
I had Five Guys, I was like, you know, that was fucking delicious.
Yeah.
I didn't feel bad about, like, I didn't feel guilty after eating it, because I was in good shape, and I was just like, the positive I found in that was, I'm now going into camp, off a camp. I'm already, like, I'm here. You know,
I suppose that helped, didn't it? When you've literally got that to jump straight back into it.
I can go straight in.
Right.
So I was like, I was in this good shape.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna be in fucking phenomenal shape. Like, I'm technically don't start camp till Monday. Look at me. Like, I'm in fucking well good shape. Like, I've got veins on my fucking abs. Like,
I've got.
I knew I had the veins.
We said this before the camera started rolling, right? These guys are in very good shape. We're not gonna get our tops off.
No, that's not fair.
No. You're like, you look like should we get me?
Excuse me.
No, absolutely not. I was just saying, you guys, racing drivers, people don't understand, I think, how in shape you guys have to be.
I mean, I'd take my situation a little bit out of it in the fact that I'm racing a Mini Cooper, but at the same time, 100%, I'll do a day of testing and I'll feel that next day. But I am 35 at the same time. When you're 18, it's probably a lot easier.
I've seen mad stuff that, like, Formula 1 drivers do. I think that's a different level. But even still, though, right?
I mean, look at the touring car guys, like, and the effort that goes into it. And I think it's the brake pedal that's the most impressive when it comes out. What did Tom say? It was like 75 kilos worth of like pressure every time. And you're doing that for like 25 minutes, 3 times a weekend, like racing anyway. And you hit that brake, and if you actually put it, we did it on the simulator once, we put it to simulate it, and you just missed the corner. I physically couldn't press it hard enough.
Wow.
And you're like, okay, and it's just your body gets used to what's needed and the pressure and everything, but at the same time, you've got to train for that. If you don't look after it, it is going to bite you. You won't realise. F1 is massively like different level, your neck and everything, I think.
Yeah, I've seen
like the G's and all that.
I don't know who I saw doing it, but they had like something on their neck. And then they have to like this steer.
It's when they're 16 years old,
it's like that,
and their necks are out here at 16, and you're like, yeah, okay, there's quite a lot of pressure going through that, I think.
In fairness, though, you're in the gym every single morning. You are obviously in the gym every day. I just quite like the pie. I'm just here for the pies.
Yeah,
I'm here for the pie. Each to their own.
I just balance the pies.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. It's
go on, suck in.
We call it, and I've already had one, actually. I have one off camera. Going back to then where you're at, so I wanted to talk about a little bit about your training. As we're talking about being in shape. I mean, as a racing driver, I'm doing a bit of minis, or we're talking about touring car drivers, they go out and they practice and stuff, and it's still pretty dangerous. You have to spar, which is also, I know sparring, but is always also is someone whacking you in the head for training as well. Do you ever get like to training and be like, I've been to football training a few times, and I'm like, can't really be bothered today, I'm just going to have a little jog about and try and avoid the manager. You can't really sort of go into boxing training half-hearted, can you? It's all or nothing.
You can't, no.
Does it also go the other way, where actually you can get a little bit too pumped up sparring and actually you just want to knock the bloke out?
Someone.
No, not really. No, not for me anyway. No. But definitely yes. I think the answer is yes, and I think yes, people do go in half-hearted.
Right.
I think they're both valid points. Yeah. Me, no. I try. If I've got sparring, I know about it. Days in advance. It's very, very occasionally will I ever get to the gym and someone says, "Can you spar today?"
Right.
That's just no one does that. It's normally arranged.
Yeah.
And I know about it the night before, so I have a good night's sleep, wake up in the morning, like I'll have like my shorts, socks, underwear, t-shirt ready to go on the banister for when I get out of the shower in the morning. Like,
so do you set yourself up like you're going in?
I get really excited. Like I get to wake up. Yeah, people get pissed off they got to wake up 6 in the morning and go to work or whatever, but I get well excited. I get to wake up in the morning and do something I love.
Right.
I'm buzzing to get in the gym. Like I'm in the gym, like I'm listening to music in the car on the way up there, like I'm getting all pumped up and that, and I just love it.
You've had
What's the question?
I was saying you can't. You as a boxer, you can't just go in and half-hearted and you'd be like, I'll just sit there. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, it's just
you hurt yourself.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, you get up.
Yeah, it's like no other sport. I should imagine.
That's like one thing in football, I suppose. So if you go into a tackle 50-50,
that's
or half-hearted, you're the one that's going to come out injured.
You're the one that's
you've either got to go in 100% or just don't go in because you come out worse for wear.
Yeah. So when you're sparring, you've done some sparring with some decent fighters.
Yeah. Conor Ben. Adam Azim.
Nice.
Chris Congo.
Wow. Okay.
God, I'm trying to think now off the top of my head.
Well, they're 3 decent names.
They're 3 really good names.
Yeah. Obviously, you beat up Conor Ben and left him on the floor. Is that what happened?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like sparring. We don't really talk about it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
just took the gloves off, walked out.
Yeah, you go get up, Conor.
When I'm
joking. Oh my God! Imagine. He's very local, isn't he? Oh no! You're like, you're the guy. Oh my God.
No. Good. Yeah. Con gives you good rounds. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He gives you good rounds.
Brutal rounds.
Do you know what? Can I backtrack? Actually, I said that. I said it normally never happens that you turn up to the gym and you go, "I'm sparring a day." Yeah.
Is that what happened?
I said it never happens. I walked into the gym. Yeah. Con's like you walk into the gym and there's like the doors here, and then there's a bit behind here with like a sections of like you can do like free weights and there's mirrors and all that sort of stuff. Con's there, so I've walked in the gym straight past him, didn't even know he was there, and he's just gone, "You sparring a day?" And I'm like, I was now sparring Congo tomorrow, and he just went, "Oh, go on, do some rounds today." And I went, right, look, Con's not the sort of person you say no to. You know what I mean? And he was just sitting there on the bench. He was just doing fucking bicep curls. Like, he was sitting on the bench. I called him out.
Spar me today.
dancing around to me, yeah? And I'm just like, right, alright. So I go to the... Nah, fuck, I can tell this story. This story's fine. This is a story I'm allowed to tell. I put my bag on the ring and I start, getting warmed up and that. I warm up properly, of course, and then I start getting my gear on and that. I'm like, Bill, can you take me up? And he's like, yeah, sweet, that's normal, nothing out of the ordinary. Then I go, Bill, can you lace me? And I was like, can you tape my lace as well? And he's like, you sparring? And I went, you sparring with Con? And I went, yeah. He went, right, Hams. He went all serious. He went, right, Hams, look, right. And then that's when I knew. I went, he's in a bad mood, isn't he? As soon as because sparring Con's it's not like a new thing or anything like that. But Bill got all serious. He went, right, listen, Hams, yeah. If he gets here on you, you can't let him get here. Just do not let him get on inside you here. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. He went, no, Hams. It's not a case of right, if he gets here, do X, Y, Z. If he gets there on you, it's game over, Hams. He went, all I want you to do is just not let him get there. And I was thinking, Phil,
did he get there?
And I was like, in my head, I was thinking, Con's in a really bad mood, isn't he? He's in a fucking foul mood. And then I'm getting ready, I'm getting all done, Edgard's on, Vaseline's all not up, I'm like extra Vaseline, I'm like...
I'm a slippery sucker.
Yeah, I'm like extra Vaseline, I'm like, Bill, can you put some Bugsy Malone on, please? And we set the timers to freeze. I look at Con and he's got no Edgard on, he's still wearing his running shoes, he's just put his fucking big 20-ounce gloves on and he's still got his earrings in and I'm just gone like, oh, cool. I'm like, say less here, ding ding, all right, let's go. I'm just like, pat, 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 I'm just like popping in with a jab, I'm like, stay away from me, stay away from me, stay away from me, stay away from me, stay away from me. And again, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, and obviously Con, the round ends and Con goes to his corner, Con's doing his own fucking corner, he don't need no one. And then Nigel's doing my corner and he's going, Ams, just relax in there, just relax. I'm like, Nigel, what do you mean fucking relax? I'm like, Con's trying to take my head off, he's on me like this, what do you mean? I'm like, Mike Tyson in front of me. And anyway, I go back out and I go, pat, pat, and I just realised I just popped both his earrings out and I just got, I'm just like, this is long, bruv. Did he? Oh, this is dread. And then literally, I haven't even blinked, and it's just like I've been caught so many times. There's claret everywhere. No way. I swear to God, he was like maybe 2 shots away from just completely breaking my jaw. I went home, all of under here was completely bruised, like black. And I ate ice cream for 2 days. I couldn't eat. My jaw was like it was clenched shut. It was like this. I couldn't speak.
Something was swollen so much.
I literally couldn't speak. I was like this talking. I couldn't talk. I got out of there. I got out of the ring, and Con went to me. And by the way, I was trying to kill you, so there's a compliment in there somewhere.
Take the compliment.
And I was like, cheers, Con. See you later, boys.
You walk.
And then I had to spar the next day with Chris Congo, who fought for the British title. Yeah, that was fucked.
My God. So you walk in the gym, you've got Conor Benn wanting to fight you. You've got Nigel Benn, Nigel Benn. Yeah, Nigel Benn coaching you against his son. Yeah. Trying to give you some pointers. Oh my word. That is a day.
Nigel's hilarious, to be fair.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, he's a funny boy. Yeah, lots of time for him.
An absolute legend of boxing. I mean, we all grew up watching Nigel Benn. And now he's just in, I mean, what is it? I mean, I guess you can't... was there a time, obviously you're 26 now?
Yeah.
So was there a time where you were starstruck when Nigel Benn walks in? Or not really? Or you just sort of have to take it in your stride?
Sort of. I mean, I met Con outside of boxing.
Right.
So...
Okay.
When I started seeing him in the gym, it was just, I don't know, I sort of treat him like anyone else.
Yeah.
Like he is just a guy like me and you. Like at the end of the day, it's the same as his dad's. Like I think maybe the reason I get along with him so well is because I don't try and do all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
I just treat him like a normal guy. Like I'll take a piss out of him like a normal guy, like a normal friend. Like
until you pop his earrings out.
Until you pop his earrings out.
Until I pop his earrings out, and I remember who he actually is, and I'm like, shit.
There's a real intensity about Conor Benn whenever you see him interviewed and stuff. Like there's Don't get me wrong, I'm sure he's a very, very nice person, but there's a real so I watch a lot of IFL TV and a lot of the boxing. There's an intensity that you're like not to be messed with. Almost always looks like he's ready to go. Like that's the kind of attitude he portrays anyway. He
definitely is ready to go at any moment. But he's one of the nicest guys. I think ever. Like,
wow,
seriously, like
what a story. Getting absolutely filled in by
image of him just like
no, seriously, there was claret everywhere. It was a blue ring as well, so you could just see it just peppered everywhere. And I was like, that's all mine, obviously. Like, he's fine. He's not got a gun on. He's not even broke a sweat. Like.
I love at one point you're looking at it going, oh, I wonder if I've cut him. No, it's just me.
When I heard that final bell, I walked out of there with a sense of achievement, just being like, I didn't get knocked out. I'm alive.
Yeah.
I think the only way I would be is if I was literally covered in like cotton wool. Like, just hit me for 3 minutes and I can say I walked out. Probably still find a way to kill me. But.
My God. But I mean, he is right up there, the top British boxers, top names in the world. He's calling out all sorts of people and he's going to be involved in some big fights. So that is quite a cool thing. It's a sort of thing. Did you go home and tell your mate, or try and tell your mates where you draw sort of thing? Or?
They were like, why can't you talk? And I was like, sparring. Kept it short and sweet.
So talk about your next fight. This was a funny one. I was talking about with Hamzah. He knows his next opponent fairly well.
Yeah.
Is that a bit weird?
It's a little bit weird. But I don't know. Yeah, it is. I guess, but it's just, I don't know, it's just
it's boxing.
Work. It's just it's like work essentially. I'm actually really honoured to share the ring with him. I'm actually really looking forward to fighting Alf. He's a really good lad. I've got nothing bad to say about him at all. I don't know if he remembers this, but I remember being at Matchroom. He used to do plastering, if I remember. And I used to work at the Harvester at the time, just putting pints, just trying to make it work, like trying to both have like part-time sort of jobs. I remember we walked to the car park in the training, and we just sort of shared a moment, just talking about how like trying to find that balance and stuff like that. And it was just like, it was a bit, we just sort of motivated each other a little bit.
Yeah.
And I guess I said it at the press conference. I was like, mate, I brought that up, and I was like, that sort of kept me going a little bit. And I sort of owe it to him a little bit, because I probably wouldn't be here if I didn't catch that little motivation for a couple of months and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to the fight. We're both coming to win. I guess we've both got something to prove as well, and I think it can be like, it's just going to be one of those fights where it's just going to be like really exciting. It's going to be one for the fans to really enjoy.
It's one thing racing against your friend. It's one thing playing football against your friend. You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
It's another thing, ding ding, and then you are trying to take his. You want to knock him out, and he wants to knock you out. In a 4 round or 6. It's 4 rounds.
8.
Oh, sorry, 8 rounds.
Yeah.
Jesus, 8 round fight. So you really are gonna be going into each other. I mean.
Yeah, I couldn't even get my head around that. I think it's a really unique mindset to be able to, be it your friend or not your friend, just get in a ring to...
You just got to turn it off. Yeah, or turn it on rather. There's a switch. You just got to have that switch. You've got to be able to turn it on, and once that switch is on, that's it.
Compartmentalise.
Because once that switch goes on, most people get hurt.
Yeah, right.
And you just got to turn it on. You got to detach. You got to like dehumanise them.
So... Is he a local fighter as well?
Yeah, he's a local lad. Yeah.
Local lad. So different gyms, different entirely. Not going to see him until you are in that ring with him.
Yeah, not going to see him at all. But like, I faced off with him the other day on top of the O2, like, and it was all as you do. Like, I was standing on top of it, I was staring at him, and I was looking at him in the eye. I had the fucking sun in my eyes and whatever. But I was looking at him, and I didn't say anything to him, and he didn't say anything to me. But it was just like, I don't know, you could almost just, there was this feeling.
You'll just turn around and go, this is really cool, isn't it?
There was almost like this element of like, this is nuts, isn't it, man? But
this is really cool.
This is nuts, bruv. Look at this. I'm like, look at us. You see that meme where it's like, look at us. Who would have done it? Not me. That's just what it felt like. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, and I spoke to I was speaking to his dad afterwards, and just wished him nothing but the best. Like, I hope he has a great camp. I hope he turns up on a night in the best shape ever. Like, I'm gonna do the same thing, and we're gonna put on like a fight for the fans that they're gonna fucking love. Honestly, I think it might be fight of the night.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
There we go. Fight of the night.
I've got full respect for anyone that will get in a ring to punch and be punched.
Yeah.
Like, I try and put myself in different people's mindsets of like what people do, footballers or cricketers or different sportsmen.
Yeah.
Boxing one, I can't even contemplate how you do it. Like, it is unique.
Yeah, it is in a way. Yeah.
But people like to do it. You see you see all the white collar stuff. You see people. What was it? There was a lot of actually got a little bit of bad press, but you know the where you would be able to pay to obviously go fight for charity.
Oh yeah.
Guys, and there was a lot of it. It did get a bit of bad press because obviously they were not matching up the fighters in the correct way. So sometimes people like me,
right,
some people would go and we're like, oh, who am I fighting? Look at him. And then all of a sudden, they're just for the money. But if it's done properly, people want to taste of it. They love it. I mean, look at boxing has gone huge in every single gym. In the country, obviously, name it boxercise and stuff like that, but the absolute fitness is unrivaled. I mean, you love your fitness, right? I mean, boxing, I should imagine a few rounds of boxing will push absolutely anyone to the limit.
Don't do me that. I ain't got the cardio for that. I don't do cardio.
I don't think people realise how long like 3 minutes is till they're doing a round.
No, they wouldn't be able to hold their hands up, I reckon.
No, they wouldn't. No.
If you say somebody 3 minutes, that's not long at all, is it? But actually doing what you're doing for 3 minutes, that must be like an hour. Just feel like that's just non-stop, right? And so much can happen within that 3 minutes as well.
Yeah. Like, I mean, people get knocked out in like less than a second, don't they?
Yeah.
Like it's one punch and that's it. You're on the floor, like looking at the ceiling. What the fuck happened? Like, get up. You got a minute 40 to go.
Within 3 minutes, you could get knocked down. You can knock the other bloke down.
Yeah.
Like, it's
a crazy, it's a crazy sport. In terms of then preparation, this is you're in camp.
Yeah.
You're ready to go in terms of your fitness, etc. It's quite a long way away, though.
Yeah, it is a long way away.
So is it hard sort of avoiding burgers and stuff like that?
I mean, technically, I've not got to do anything till like Monday, but I can't not. You're probably the same, right? I can't not do anything.
Yeah.
So like I've been still in the gym, been keeping it like nice and light. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to do mad stuff and peak too early and all that sort of stuff. And we got it all mapped out nicely.
I was going to say, do you map literally the entire camp out?
It's mapped out. I mean, it's mapped. Like I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly how many runs I'm doing. I know distance I'm running. I know what days a pad day, what days a bag day. I know what days like S&C. I know what it's a lower body S&C or is it an upper body S&C? Is it explosive? What we'd like.
And that's to make sure that your body peaks at the right point. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's something that I listened to down at Southampton when we did a tour with like the footballers and everything. We were walking around and they were saying even between games, and they literally try to get you to that peak within the perfect window.
Yeah.
Even to the point of travelling to games, right, for them. Like just making sure they're at the peak at the right time.
Yeah.
Like it's nuts. So
it was crazy. The sports science involved in the football
Yeah.
was mental, and I should imagine it's the same with the boxers.
Yeah.
They would literally be like, you do this and then you stop and then you'll start again here.
Because people don't think you could reach a peak and then fall off, I suppose. But but you can, right?
Yeah,
like,
you
it's
can,
a massive part of it, and being able to map that out, I suppose. And it is so detailed.
Yeah, it's like to the T, like, you know what I mean? The team work it out with like fucking laptops and calculators, like, so I'm just like, they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So
what am I doing today?
So talking about mapping out, you obviously got your training sort of mapped out, but then you've just got to keep on going into fights and keep on winning, right?
Yeah.
Because as soon as you have got, touch wood, an 8, 9, 10 and 0, and then TV appearance, undercard appearances and stuff like that, then you've got promoters, you already said Adam Zine and Conor Bettner, completely different promotional packages, different promoters, different gyms and stuff. So it's a bit of a minefield, but that's the excitement, right? So you've got like 26 now.
Yeah.
By the time if we're chatting in 4 years' time, you want to be, we'll be seeing you on TV, etc.
Belts, yeah.
But that is so. How many fights a year are you looking to have realistically? How many fights this year realistically, and then next year?
Do you know what? I'm if that's all right, I'm gonna try not to answer that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just because. My answer is as many as I can.
Okay.
I don't want to try and say a number because I look at what happened like the other week and it just like fucks in my head a bit.
No, of course.
Just as many as I'd like to. I would like to maybe have like. I'd like to have like 4 or 5 this year, if I can.
Yeah.
If I can. If they're going to be really big shows, less obviously then, just because like it's hard to get the ticket sales in and expect people to turn up and pay like 100, quid, 200 quid for a ringside ticket and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, if they're big shows, and I don't mind.
As many as possible.
Do you look that far ahead, like, or do you take each year maybe at a time, or
take each year at a time? Yeah. We try not to look too far down the line. We look at it as like fight numbers. We'll look to get to 5-0. That's how we're looking at it. We'll get to 5-0. Then we'll get to 10-0. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Then we get to 12. Then we can start to challenge for X, Y, and Z.
Because that was one thing I wondered about, how, especially in boxing, like, how far do you look ahead? Do you? Because obviously promotion-wise, they're always trying to go, well, he'll beat him, and then they'll fight here in 3 years' time.
Yeah.
Do the boxers think? Do you think that?
We do. Yeah, we have to think like that. We have to think like, how am I going to get to 5-0? What am I going to do once I'm at 5-0? Where do I want to be at 5-0? Right, okay, so we need to start doing stuff like this. We need to start doing stuff like that if you want to get to the...
So the boxers and their team, and obviously the promoters have got their own sort of... but then you've also got the boxing team. So the boxers are very much involved in, I want to go here, I want to do this.
I mean, going back to what we were talking about earlier about like the business side of it, right? I think a lot of the reason that I'm probably fighting at the O2 in July is because like I've been doing like all my social media stuff, right? Like, why else am I getting that opportunity?
Right.
You know, like with market yourself. You know, get your brand out there, get your face out there. Do you know what I mean? Like, who can we get for Alfie to fight? Right, he looks decent.
Yeah.
You know, why am I even on the radar?
Yeah, of course.
Does that make sense?
Of course.
Because you've got to push yourself out there. If I said to myself, I want to get to the O2, like I want to fight at the O2. How am I going to do that? Right, I need to build a brand. I need to start sparring good people. I need to like get my name out there. I need trainers to know who I am. I need managers to know who I am. I need promoters to know who I am.
Maximise the opportunities out there, right? Social media is a huge one, and like I was saying, on the freight side, like doing something a bit different. There's not many freight companies who are doing it, and different stuff that we work together with, and you can create something that's totally different. But actually, someone suddenly randomly in Southampton goes, "Oh, I need this sent here." Oh, I've seen Maron on Southampton shirt, or I've seen a TikTok with somebody sitting in a box, and just doing some funny stuff as well. And why not? Or listening to this, so it's 100%. It's got to be done, and like you say, it's only going to be a benefit.
And that is so for the sports people, especially not only sports people, but the people that have tapped into socials. Self-made millionaires, right? There's boxers. Ryan Garcia, before he started having big fights against Luke Campbell, before he fought Luke Campbell and people like that. Eddie Hearn was saying, well, Ryan Garcia is the absolute marketable boxer. You don't even have to market him. He already had millions of followers, and he was a fighter who had an O record, like he hadn't been beat, but he hadn't fought a massive amount of people either. He was just a huge person on social media. He built such a following, and all of a sudden he starts fighting, and he's like, he can punch as well. It's just, everything's sold out, and hence, I know we don't want to gloss over it because there's two different things in terms of boxing and YouTube boxing, but look at these boxers like Tommy Fury has had a couple fights obviously with KSI and Jake Paul,
and they're like his biggest fights.
There's only one reason,
biggest paydays.
There's only one reason Tommy Fury was on there.
That's what I was going to ask you, is what you thought about that whole side of it.
What I think about YouTube boxing?
YouTube boxing been good for boxing, like in the fact that obviously it's because it has got numbers up, right?
Like, I'll be honest with you, like it puts eyes on the sport, which I think is phenomenal. What do I think about YouTubers and influencers doing boxing? Like I say, I'm friends with a few like influencers and do that sort of, that are into like their boxing and they fight on the misfits. Like, I'll name them, and I think I've got nothing but respect for them, because how can you not respect them for doing that? I do that. I get in the ring and I get punching it and I dish it out. And so if you're doing that, you're taking a risk. Like, huge respect to you. But also, I do think, like, I started boxing when I was like 13, 14 years old, right? You build up like a conditioning to being punched in the head, right? So like over years and years, I'm sort of used to it. I take creatine. I make sure there's enough fluid around my brain, so when I'm getting punched in the head really hard, I'm not. I'm trying to minimise the risk. Right? These people have never been punched growing up or whatever. It's awful. It's awful to even think this, but I think someone's going to get seriously hurt very soon. And boxers die. Look, 3 boxers died last year. what the fuck do you think is going to happen to some of these influencers?
And that's the problem, right? And
I think once that happens, no one's going to want to do it.
And boxing will get blamed as a sport.
Of course,
yeah.
And that's where it will then could then be the total opposite.
People have been in boxing for years. Coaches, boxers, and promoters will have to defend the sport.
Yep.
Because of that. And some of the knockouts, as you've said, actually, there, I didn't even think about it, have been brutal. I don't subscribe to it. I won't ever pay for a Misfits card. It's not for me. However, you can't avoid it. If you like boxing, when you follow boxing channels, you can't avoid it on your socials. It pops up in my timeline.
Yeah, like Wasserman does it. DAZN do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Of course. DAZN have got a huge deal with KSI and all their cards. It's just, it is bizarre to me how it's taken off, but you've got to kind of embrace it. But like I say, Tommy Fury, because of his following, because of who his brother is, because of his social media, I think John Fury said it. He said this boy doesn't have to box another day in his life. He's made money. He's got enough money to live. He's got his wife. He's got his missus, and everything's sorted. Right? He doesn't have to box another day in his life, but he's still having fights that get more eyes on it than some really good like world champions, which is mad to even think. Mad, but yeah, I think you're probably right.
This is the thing, right? So Loma is fighting Kambosos, isn't he, in Australia at the minute?
Yeah.
Did you know about that? How long do you know about that for?
No, well, I only know about it because I follow boxing, but I guarantee no one even knows about it. And I reckon there's some people probably won't even know Kambosos is.
Yeah.
So
I'll be brutally honest with you. I knew it was going ahead. I forgot about it.
Yeah, you
I
do.
completely forgot Loma was fighting.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I saw a post of him in Australia, and I was like, oh yeah, he's fighting. Because it's been like overshadowed by like Jake Paul fighting Tyson.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's just been completely overshadowed by that. I've seen that everywhere.
By the way, what I saw Evander Holyfield.
Well annoyed by that.
Top Mike Tyson.
Mental, right? That is.
How is Mike Tyson being allowed? It's a professional fight, they're saying as well. Like, do we believe it? Is it staged?
The hard part is that's the hard part of knowing, right? Like what is and what isn't, and there's money talks, right? Unfortunately, in everything, money talks, and you watch some of the fights that have been happening, and you go, is that real? Is that?
But if Jake Paul, a young fit man, I don't know, goes at Mike Tyson, I know he's Mike Tyson, but we're talking 3 rounds.
58.
Yeah, we've seen some little highlight reels of Mike Tyson doing 20 seconds on the pads.
Yeah.
I can imagine if we got some really good cameramen and you coaching us, you could probably get enough footage for us to look okay for 10 seconds on the pads. So what I'm saying is Mike Tyson's always going to look great for 20 seconds on the pads. He's 60 years old. And if a young fit guy like Jake Paul goes at him, it's only going to end one way, isn't it?
If he does that for 20 seconds, though, I can see Jake Paul being on the floor very fast.
No, that's the thing, though, isn't it? Right? I feel like 60s. I don't know. You know what you say about money talks, right? Mike's the kind of guy that they'd be like, look, I'll give you £10 million to go down or whatever.
Roll over.
And I can just imagine him being like, yeah, sure. And then on the night being like, fuck that. I'll pay the fight. Mike's Mike, innit?
He said that and this came down and he turned into a different person, didn't he? So you could see that. Going, that's fine, like you say.
Yeah.
Put your gloves on and start.
Right. I lied, bitch.
And I'll be Jake on the other side going, oh no, he's forgotten.
I don't know. Again, going what to you, I don't know what I'm allowed to say. We can.
Yeah.
I'll tell you anyway, and then we'll think about it.
And then
we'll
can
think
get
about
rid
it
of
anyway.
it, yeah.
But Nigel is close to 60.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know how. I can't remember how old he is, but last year. You go to say, he's 60, can he do this X, Y, is he going to be fit enough, whatever. I saw Nigel Benn sparring John Ryder for 12 rounds.
For 12 rounds?
For 12 rounds with the heat. We have heaters above the gym. You know, the outdoor heaters.
Yeah.
They have heaters above the ring and they have 4 of them to turn it on, they're sweating.
60.
Wow.
He's 60. Well, he's 60, and I saw him giving John hard fucking rounds, and it was like a fantasy fight. I thought I was watching something out of EA Sports. I saw Nigel Benn, John Ryder having it out for 12.
Oh my word!
But I suppose that's the other thing. Like you talk about conditioning.
Yeah.
The body is conditioned, and you don't just stop. I mean, I can assume he keeps himself in good nick.
Yeah, I'm assuming Nigel Benn might be a little. But then again, how do we know? I have no idea. I'm not even going to pretend to know that Mike Tyson's in good health or not. However, I know
he's relaxed either way.
Yeah.
yes.
But I mean, like, if Nigel can do that, and if Mike's burning the candle at both ends, I still back him to do 3 minutes, like 3 rounds for free, like 3 threes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I still back him. You know what I mean? He's my boy. That's Tyson.
Oh, of course, 100%.
I'm never going against him.
I think the whole boxing world is in Mike Tyson's corner. Don't get me wrong. I think it's more out of worry. Like, don't get knocked out by Jake Paul. Like, that's
Or
the
don't
thing.
let it seem that way either.
Exactly.
That's
Don't let it
also
seem that way. What a bizarre. And talk one thing about in terms of money talks. How much does money talk? I mean, would it?
What do you want me to do?
No, what is that? Because I've got some money now. No, like in terms of this whole world, we've seen what Saudi money is doing with boxing at the moment. It is making dream fights happen, like literally making dream cards. Forget fights. The cards now. I don't actually. I might take my money. Before I was like, I'll pay 20, and I'll pay it every single time. I'm paying 20 quid. I only want to watch 2 fights out of 8. Now I'm like, I'm getting bang for my money because there's so much going on. However, the one thing I'm going to say, can the money? John's just walked in. Can the money? You got him? Did you get him something?
Hot wings.
Oh,
You got him some hot wings. I tell you what.
You're a darling.
John from WeFinancingCars just delivered hot wings to you.
John from WeFinancingCar.com.
.com.
Training, isn't I?
Yeah. I'm thinking about this. Has never happened on the Fingers in Pies podcast. We had a delivery during it. How much of a diva are you, by the way? Just getting your food delivered.
Oh, I'll do what I want.
Fingers in pies.
I like it. More wings. He's made a thigh and a wing joke. Sociopath. Right, okay. We'll let you get your wings on. But how much money talking
I'll make a mess.
in terms of?
Do you want some?
I can imagine there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money floating around the sport that could make you take a wrong turn for your career. Was my point.
Yeah.
Like, so
People have thought this currently for me taking a fight with Alfie.
because how many fights he's had?
I think he's on 11. You know, so he's a lot more experienced than I am. You know, but the reason that the fight's been made is because the styles clash really well.
Yeah.
And obviously he's coming off of 2 losses. I'm coming off of 2 wins.
Yeah.
So. We'll see what happens on the night. But I know what you mean, though. I mean, the whole, and again, going to what you said about, like the 5v5.
Yeah.
You know, like how that's happened, right? That is the whole motivation about the show at the O2. So it's TM14 promotions versus Nielsen boxing.
I said promotions collide.
Right? So they were like, right, we'll pick 5 and we'll pick 5. And then they went, no, fuck it, we'll pick 10 and you pick 10. You know, put on a monster show. And then they were like, we'll pick from our stable, Then it went even further than that. And they were like, right, let's just pick like a dream team.
Right.
And then Alf got chose on their side, and they started picking random fighters outside their stable as well. And,
So it was.
Money talks. Money really does talk. You know, would be on a show like that if it didn't.
So I can imagine it being to the point now where you're like, I need to get on one of them Riyadh shows. Okay, I've got you a fight against this guy. Would I take that normally? No, but I'm going to go. Do you see what I mean? Like. That career progression.
Would Tommy Fury have taken the fights he's taken with Jake KSI without being offered an absolute fortune?
Millions, like literally millions.
And dare I say it, he's beaten them both, but as a boxer, across the forums, he's lost a lot of credibility.
Yeah.
Like now, so if he wants to be a boxer, he needs to go on undercards now, which.
Yeah, the only reason
they're going to be nowhere near the money.
The only reason he took them fights was the money that was offered, right? There's no other reason you take that.
And he backs himself to beat them easily. And where he didn't beat them easily, because he was an inexperienced boxer, what did he only have? 5-6 fights or whatever. And now, if he wants to be a boxer, he's got the choice of go on an undercard on a Saturday night somewhere. He's not going to do it, is he?
No, I mean, I think he should just cash out.
Agreed, completely.
And I think there's no shame in that.
No.
You know, he's made his money. He's got a kid. You know, he's got like he's got a family. Like,
Yeah.
And that's why he's done it,
Can't
right?
live it, mate. The only thing better than being rich is young and rich.
Yeah,
like,
well,
do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
go and, just go and live, bro. Like, you ain't got to get punched in the head. Like, you make
Enjoy
enough
it.
money. You just, look after your family, support your family.
Go
Do
to
it.
your brother's fights.
You just ring up Jake Paul every sort of 5 years and go, I think we just
Should we do it again?
do it again. I just need to top up. That's
it.
I mean, like,
That's
it'll be
exactly
like,
it. Should we do
yeah.
the rematch? But yeah, I mean, 100%. And I think the beauty about social media as well is that you get to know the fighters so much more.
Yeah.
So they're able to say stuff like that. I always use Tony Bellew as a great example. Before this emergence of YouTube, IFL, and all this sort of social media, Tony Bellew, and he's admitted it, a lot of it, he was a real unlikable character.
Yeah, he was very hated, wasn't he?
Yeah, everyone hated him. Wow, I can't wait for David Haye to knock him out and all this sort of stuff. And then this emergence of socials and everything like that, he speaks and tells it exactly how it is. And then he's just come out, we get me out of here, popular as anything,
Everyone loves
doing
him.
shows. Everyone absolutely loves him.
League of
including
Their Own
me.
as well. He was on that,
Yeah.
and he was just brilliant. Like he doesn't like being put upside down or heights.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what they did, and he was comedy gold. And I think it just
So
stuck.
funny.
And he is. He's yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. They actually allow, so embracing that whole element of this allows you to get to know the fighter away from the bravado and actually just ring walks, because that's what they used to see. Interviews on BBC and Sky, and then them in the ring and interviews afterwards. You wouldn't get to see them actually in everyday life and actually get to know them a little bit, and that's the beauty of it. But you can turn
You build the brand, and that's where it comes back
Building
to
the brand.
building that brand, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Like, that's the
exactly.
point. Like you're not yourself; you're a brand.
Yeah.
You're not a business. You're a brand.
Yeah.
Like, put it out there as a brand and build something that people actually enjoy.
as much as you can.
Yeah.
How long have we been going, boys?
Hour and 11 minutes.
Whoa,
Fuck off, seriously.
that's gone
Yeah.
quick.
What's wrong with it? What the-
That's gone quick.
Flying by.
We better wrap it up. Hand wraps. Was
That would only have been good if that was a Nando's.
I know if that was a wrap.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. Sorry, boys. I let you down.
Anyway, we'll wing it.
I know you were gonna.
Come on, I was looking at that. We'll wing it and we'll wrap it up there. Before we go, we ask everyone: Are you a fan of a pie?
It depends, like what pie.
Tell us your favourite pie.
I don't know. Does an apple crumble count as a pie?
Everyone.
We have had this.
Everyone
Seriously?
Eight
says.
episodes. I think
Should we
4
just-
of them.
Fingers in crumbles, should we call it?
Yeah, yeah.
We're changing it here.
Is that what everyone says?
Yeah,
Everyone says it's a crumble count.
4 at least. Have said
Yeah.
it.
Seriously? Yeah. Well, I don't know what is a pie. What's your favourite pie? How about that?
Alright, mate. I ain't facing off with you.
Now you're giving me rules.
We could do like
Is that gonna be our picture for the podcast?
Yeah, just me, yeah.
Both of us.
Yeah, just face. Yeah, 2 of us versus him.
Yeah, go on.
we'll have him. My favourite pie, I think
Come on, spit it out.
it's got to be an old-fashioned apple pie with custard. You said crumble.
No, well, I'm going
You said crumble.
No, I'm going
Steak and ale. I like my savoury.
Steak
and ale.
Steak and ale. I
Steak
think
and
like a
ale
big
pie. Like
a chicken ham and leek.
ale.
That's like a gravy, like a proper ale gravy. Steak
I've
and
never
ale.
heard of that.
Or we've got steak and Guinness. Or is the local to you steak
You
and
just sound like an
Malbec?
alcoholic now.
It's steak and alcohol. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
a chicken and leek or something like that.
Well, no, he's given a proper answer. You've basically.
I just said chicken and leek.
No, you just rebranded. No, you just rebranded apple
Hamzah,
pie.
I've got your 4 fight sorted. Me and
You
you.
just rebranded apple crumble as apple
When
pie.
English Pakistanis collide. Anyway, right. This has gone weird. Right, we'll let you get on with your wings. That is it. Episode 8 for the Fingers in Pies podcast is done. Thank you very much, Hamzah.
Appreciate it, man.
for
Thank you
being a
for having
guest.
me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
I wish you all the best in your fight. We are going to be there. It's one of the it's one of the weekends we're actually not at a racetrack. And I've earmarked it, so we're going to try and be there as well, and it'll be amazing.
Yeah.
We have one of these guys working, but I'm just going to be watching. I'll be honest, I'm not going to do any work. And I'll be like, "You got the pictures, Jim? Yeah, good." So good.
Well,
luck.
they'll have good seats, so they'll be like on the ring, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's doing any work. I'll just be watching.
Yeah, you should be watching. It was a good knockout. Did you get any photos? No.
No, I think so. Maybe I don't know.
But seriously, best of luck in that, mate.
Thank you.
And Tommy, thank you as ever, my co-host.
Love it as always.
And yes, best of luck with the whole racing. Hopefully we see you at
Yeah,
Pembury.
best of luck with that. Yeah.
Hopefully we see you at Pembury in a car.
Yes.
If not, we'll catch up soon on the next episode.
Sounds good.
That's another one done.
Awesome.
Shit, chaps.
Done.
Cheers.